We continue to track the Jeffrey Epstein situation, and we're tracking it not because there's been any meaningful developments in the Epstein case itself, but because of the political pressure that the White House continues to face because of it. A number of high-profile GOP members, including Speaker Mike Johnson, are calling for more transparency related to the handling of the case. Political analyst Brian Sobel is here. Brian, President Trump has faced a lot of controversies in his day. Does this one feel different?
Yes and no, Austin. He has the ability when he really wants to press on the gas. To be honest with you, with his supporters, with the various people in the Congress, to say, "Hey, enough is enough." He's basically already said that. It has not quelled some of the people in Congress asking for, as you say, more transparency, but. We'll see what he does here. He has certainly supported his attorney general through all of this, and she's under considerable pressure as well.
You know a thing or two about public relations, Brian. What can the executive branch do to get on the positive side of this PR disaster? Is there an easy fix?
Well, first and foremost is the idea that there's information that the Justice Department has, and they're not releasing it for whatever reason. And until they can get beyond that, Austin, it's a little difficult. So Speaker Johnson talking about transparency, fair enough. He has to believe Donald Trump and Attorney General Biondi when they say, there's just nothing more here. I think originally this started with a public relations gaffe, if you will, by suggesting that there was this list of people that were somehow connected to Epstein. And if you read between the lines, connected to Epstein and his activities, in other words, facilitating some of these prominent people with people that were around Epstein and perhaps doing nefarious things. And so the public relations issue here is really getting around the idea that there's some super secret list. And that, I think, is what this comes down to, that for whatever reason isn't being released because maybe in the minds of some people, there are prominent Republicans, prominent Democrats, who knows?
Let's expand on the Speaker Johnson piece of this. House Speaker Mike Johnson is urging Attorney General Pam Bondi to come forward and explain the Trump administration's handling of the files. He said it on a podcast that was released today. Brian, how significant is it that the Speaker of the House seems to be breaking with the White House on something like this?
Oh, it's big because heretofore, Donald Trump has been able to pick up the phone, as we've watched over and over again, and say, hey, here's the way I want this to go, left, right, I want this in a bill, I don't want this, and pretty much Speaker Johnson has gone along with whatever the president has wanted, and this time I think he's getting enough pressure that he has to react. And don't forget, this is on the heels of this giant tax measure where Donald Trump worked the phones along with Speaker Johnson continuously until they got the votes they needed. And it may be that Johnson says, hey, I really went to the map for the tax bill, and now on this one, we need more forthcoming information from the Justice Department, not from the White House particularly, but from, as I say, the Attorney General. And frankly, if she doesn't have more to give, I don't know what she can give.
This is Hakeem Jeffries speaking earlier today. Brian, is this an opportunity for Democrats? Have they likely been looking for an opening between Trump and his loyal base?
Yes, and that's exactly how it comes down. Excellent question. I think they're looking for a wedge issue. I don't think this plays necessarily with the voters, one way or the other. First of all, Epstein's been dead for quite some time now. Maxwell, his associate, is in prison, serving 20 years. And Dems have to be careful, too. If that list existed, or does exist, who's on there that may prove to be incredibly embarrassing to them? I mean, we know some of the people Epstein was hanging out with, including a former president. So you just don't know by calling for all this what you're calling for, because we as the American public, and I think a lot of people on the Hill, don't know what's available that has not yet been released.
If this could be something that's unifying for Democrats. Is this bringing about somewhat of a MAGA divide that we haven't seen before?
Well, it may be unifying the Dems to some extent. But again, they don't know what they don't know. So they need to be a little cautious, I would think. For the MAGA Republicans, I think they believe there are Democrats, frankly, on that list that they want to expose. And so, in all of that mix, you have people that are sort of on the same side and on opposite sides for different reasons, but they may not all be pure.
Is there anything that, and I know you've been doing a number of media hits about this exact topic. Is there a question that people aren't asking about this that you wish they would ask more often?
A good question. I think it's really comes back to your central point, which is I think they overpromised and underdelivered in the sense of this list, what information they may have. You'll recall the Attorney General saying she had on her desk a list of people and other information. Then all of a sudden that evaporated, and I think that's where the Dems saw an opening to suggest that she wasn't being forthcoming or she was not even telling the truth in an attempt to continue to possibly lay blame on certain individuals that Epstein may have been hanging out with. And then it didn't materialize. And going back to your earlier question, about public relations and a gaffe and all that sort of thing, that's the gaffe. The gaffe is always in over-promising and under-delivering, because people say, well, listen, you're the Attorney General. You should know what was on your desk. And now you're saying it wasn't really on my desk, or it wasn't on my desk in the way that I may have conveyed or was conveyed. And if that's the case, that's what I think is drawing some of these MAGA Republicans to call for the Attorney General's resignation.
Always good to see you, Brian. Thanks. Have a good night.
Great to see you, Austin. Take care.